Hanover Hill to Wambeck Mill, An Insider's Guide to Manchester is the first ever printed guide to New Hampshire's Queen City. I'm Will Stewart, and since moving to Manchester in 2004, I've become fascinated with and awed by this city. But during my time here, including stints as a reporter with the Hippo, as a community organizer with NeighborWorks Southern New Hampshire, and as the Vice President of Economic Development and Advocacy with the Greater Manchester Chamber of Commerce, it's been my observation that, in many respects, Manchester is an underappreciated city. Part of the reason for this is that Manchester is a city of best-kept secrets, even for those who have lived here for years. While some of what makes the Queen City great is well known, Manchester is, to a certain extent, an underground city, with many relatively unknown attractions, restaurants, shops, events, and happenings. And it is these secrets we will share in An Insider's Guide to Manchester.
Huffington Post travel blog wrote about Manchester and said the number one thing to do is go to the Mill Yard Museum first, and then you'll have some context about what Manchester is about. But once they leave here, I fear that context could be lost, and I think the guidebook will be a great way to shepherd them through the rest of the city. Once they get their grounding, they're going to need next steps, and I think the option of having a guide like yours would be a perfect way to welcome new people to Manchester so they take advantage of all these different opportunities that they may not be aware of until that book is placed in their hands.
The book features a carefully curated selection of more than 500 Manchester attractions, entertainment and recreation spots, restaurants, bars, and stores, as well as more than a few oddities. From the essential to the obscure, An Insider's Guide to Manchester showcases well-known establishments and brings much-needed attention to their lesser-known counterparts.
Well, there's a vibrant cultural scene here in Manchester that many people are not aware of, including the Mill Yard Museum, the Courier Museum of Art, the New Hampshire Institute of Art. The list goes on and on, the Palace Theatre. And once they come to Manchester, I think they quickly realize that there's an awful lot going on in this city, and you need to know how to find your way around.
Anecdotes of historical and contemporary significance are also shared in the guide, which features hand-drawn illustrations and maps by acclaimed Manchester artist Peter Noonan. The book will be designed and printed right here in the Queen City.
If we can show the people of Manchester and people who come to Manchester a different way of looking at the city, I think that will be a good thing. It'll allow people who live here to say, I never knew that before. I never knew this thing about Manchester. And that'd be an awesome thing. And if we can do it in a funny, humorous way that makes people laugh and makes people want to pick up the book and say, oh, this is really wonderful.
An Insider's Guide to Manchester is essential for tourists and new residents, yet informative and interesting for the well-acquainted and any fan of Manchester. Likewise, the book is ideal for students who attend or are considering attending one of the city's colleges and universities. It can also be used as a recruiting tool for companies looking to attract employees who want to live in an interesting city with a plethora of cultural, dining, and entertainment and recreation options. By supporting the publication of An Insider's Guide to Manchester, you are showing your pride in the Queen City and helping to share its greatness and uniqueness with the world. Thank you for your support.